Hello, everybody. How's it going? We are live for the last live stream of 2023. Let's get things set up here. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas. I took the last Saturday off. Here we are on the 30th. We got one more day of 2023. This whole year just whipped by like crazy. It's been nuts. But here we are. It's been crazy. So for this stream, we're just going to look back at some of the crazy stuff I did this year, some of the fun we had, all the weird and wild stuff that we went through. Where is my thing here? Yeah, it's been crazy. I'm just looking back at some of the stuff we've been through, and oh man, and I put up a bunch of stuff actually today. I've had trying to get stuff done before the end of the year. I want to start the new year off with a fresh start. Didn't want stuff hanging over from the end of the year, but here we are. So yeah, like today I put out a short there, my Vanguard Veteran Showcase I put out there, and I put out the video with could I save them, sort of giving an answer to my earlier video, can we save our vanishing models? Right. So please check those out when you have a chance. But it's been a fun year, and there's like more stuff to come. I have to work on a video for the next mini warm-up challenge that I've already said I'm doing. I'm gonna hopefully get more Marines painted up. I have some Reavers that I've had for a very long time to get painted up. A Reaver Lieutenant, and if I get those done, then I'll move on to Hellblasters and eventually on to the rest of the Leviathan box set. I got 5 Infernus Marines done last time, and the last mini warm-up challenge was nice. It was great, just get stuff done, to see some progress on some models. It's a lot of fun. But if we go back here, wow. I mean, this year, I got to say, this has been probably the most successful year I've had with the channel in, I think, ever. Just trying to see here. Where did that go? Yeah, I looked at the year in view for 2023. I've never had this many likes, uploads, comments, shares. Wow, like I just, it's crazy. And that's even before some of the newer stuff that I've done. So it doesn't bring into account my last, that can I save them? Can we save our vanishing models? Which has been by far my biggest video ever. It's huge. It's massive. But yeah, so if we do a review there, I'm trying to go back the last year and see what we've done. Let's see here. Just trying to go back here, see where it was. So there was the Arcs of Omen stuff. Yeah, there was the, we started off with the Arcs of Omen, and that was a big deal. Brand new way to play, amazing fluff, amazing upgrades to the story. Obviously, the books brought in new characters. We saw the Eternal Lion, Vashdor, the Arcaphane, Angron, fighting battles in the depths of Space Hulks. Really, really cool stuff. And, I got that big terrain piece done up, the big temple. I've shown you, got that built up. Did some more, got more stuff, aggressors done up. Started talking about stuff disappearing, things becoming legends. Got my model that Wolf Brother Mythos sent me, that amazing Odd Bruiser from Gear Guts Mech Shop. Was absolutely fantastic. guessing around with the lists and all the different things, getting squads redone. Oh, it was a lot of fun. The mini warm-up challenge, getting more Necrons done. I actually have 3 more Necrons I got to paint up. That's going to finish them off. It's just 3 bases of the Scarabs. I even did, even the video I did about a week ago about that Star Wars or Star Trek technical manual for Enterprise D. That was a lot of fun, right? Again, it was another wonderful year. Lots of learning, lots of cool stuff. Gee, what's up, my man? Yeah, no, it was there was some that was going to get that there's been some certain difficulties this year. Definitely. There's times when I was doing this channel, I don't know, this year it was a lot of hard work went into it. I tried new things. I've been trying to learn and apply what I have learned. But yeah, there were times this year I thought about packing it up and stopping that. But I decided to push through and muddle through, and I'm glad I kind of did. But it's been a year. I had some weird stuff happen. I did an amazing Halloween sort of survival against the Necron horde game. That the video just magically, mysteriously at Halloween disappeared. It's very weird. And like I said, I think I'm ending this year on a strong note, though. I was able to finish up those assault. I should want to say assault Marines. That's what they used to be. My Vanguard veterans, so I can use them again. Luckily, I had some extra Blade Angel jump packs from the Sanguinary Guard, so I threw those on there, and they look pretty sweet. So please check out that video when you get a chance, because that's where they are. Mythos, my brother, how's it going? Glad to have you here. Of course, we've seen all the new stuff that they've been, Games Workshop has been putting out for next year, saying, hey, it's there's some cool stuff coming for 40K in the future. We saw something that looked like the silhouette of some sort of orc, a silhouette of some sort of Custodes, and of course, just seeing it on my kids there. We also get to see the silhouette of a Kroot riding something. So, and that, of course, always piques my interest. I'm not a huge fan of Cow at all. I never liked their playstyle, but the Kroot have always been something interesting to me. Even going back to, 3rd edition when they first came out, the chapter proved 2004, I believe it was. Obviously, it came out of White Dwarf beforehand, but the annual, but they that's where I got it. Was the 2004 chapter proved annual, and it's a Kroot mercenary list, which was just. It was such a fun looking list, and you can do it again. There was a while there you couldn't, because Shapers were not HQs at one point, and then when they 8th came in, they still weren't a sort of HQ unit. Now they're a leader, so they can lead. They can lead the carnivore squads now. I hope you awesome gents are doing well. Yeah, no, I am doing pretty good. I just got back from a dinner with my parents. I just got the kids to bed. That's why there's the delay. How to get them into bed. It was a wonderful night, a wonderful night. But yeah, so it has probably been the best year I've ever had on the channel, which is funny because it was also, damn, what did I do there? Sorry, I'm just trying to muck about with stuff here. It was also probably one of the hardest years. Simply, there was times where I just didn't want to do it anymore. Right? I didn't want to do it anymore at certain points. I guess just getting in my own head. But I'm glad I pushed through. But yeah, I had the most subscribers this year that I've ever gotten, the most views, the most uploads. My Can We Save Them video has been my most viewed, watched, commented, engaged video I've ever done, which is crazy. I'm so Wow, I can't. That was just an amazing video, and I'm so glad people liked it. No, I think, gee, we had a great night. It was fun. Yeah, some really cool. It was really good. It was the last sort of Christmassy New Year's thing. But enough reminiscing. 2023 was a hard year, but it's a great year. Um, what I call a successful year. Got lots of stuff painted up. Um, one of the big lessons I'll take with me from this year is not to compare myself to everybody else. That's something I'm always going to have a problem with. I think comparing myself to other videos, to other channels, people who seem to whip through amazing armies in days, weeks, months, and it takes me, 2 months to paint 5 models. Right, that's just the speed I go at, I guess, and I have to be happy with that. There's my army's coming along. Like I said, I think I finished off good. I got 5 Vanguard veterans with jump packs to add to the army, and now I left the heads. The helmets, I should say, are still blue instead of white, and the shoulder trim's gold instead of white, as it should be. But at the same time, I just don't feel like painting these models again. They look great the way they are. I've been looking at 2 Vindicators that I had for my Black Templar army, but that army is not going anywhere. I mean, I've got a couple of Crusader squads, but I have a feeling that those are going to vanish whenever the Black Templars get their new codex. I have a feeling all those old models go away. They have new Crusader squads with all the new, Primaris Marines and the new size scouts and all that. So I think those ones will disappear. The chaplain. I had a chaplain. I put it in my Ultramarines army, but that chaplain's gone now, obviously. So, I mean, I can still use them, but I don't know. I do like to have my armies somewhat updated, just like a personal thing. I'm not really trying to chase a meta or anything like that, but I like to have them a little updated. That's what I'm doing with my my Ultramarines slowly. But 2 Vindicators, I love the paint job on them. I think I did an amazing paint job, and they're black, of course. But what I think I'm going to do is certain parts, like the front of the boss shield and the Vindicator, the side doors and the back door, I think I'm going to paint them up blue to at least show that they are now with my Ultramarines without wrecking the rest of the paint job, because it looks really good, and I really don't feel like going over it again and getting rid of something I like. So I think that's what I'll do with that. But that was 2023. So what's going to happen in 2024? Now we're just a little over 24 hours from the new year. What's 2024 going to be like? Well, first off, I'm going to start off with the mini warm-up challenge. I'm going to be painting out Marines, of course. Duh. Oh my God, that's so shocking. You've got to paint Marines? No way. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some Reavers done. I know a lot of people are like, why Reavers? Reavers are just the worst. Because I think they look cool. I think the fact that Marines have these massive guys in power armor that's been shrunk down. Anything that isn't necessary has been taken off so they can be sneaky, and their terror troops is exactly the sort of thing Marines should have. Do I wish the rules were a bit better? Absolutely, but they're still freaking awesome. And when I get a Reaver, I have a Reaver Lieutenant that I'm hoping to get done too. He'll make that unit that much better. They're definitely a unit that's good for hitting lesser units. You don't want to throwing them at Terminators or Dreadnought or anything with any real defensive capabilities. You want to throw them at weaker units that you can break down, hopefully get them to get a battle shock test. But I want to get those guys done. And if I get those guys done in time, there's Hellblasters I got to finish. So I definitely that video will be coming out soon. I got to get those painted up. And of course, like as I mentioned before, Games Workshop putting out those videos about stuff to come. And like I said, the Kroot, yes, I've had a thing for the Kroot since 4th edition with the Kroot mercenary list. And if I don't think Kroot are going to disappear when the new Tau Codex comes out. I think there's something that's intrinsic to the Kroot or to the Tau themselves. The Kroot are. I love to see Kroot mercenary list, and I've been doing window shopping on the Games Workshop website. I want Space Chicken. Hey, hell child, how's it going, man? Yeah, I could build a Kroot mercenary list right now. Now, it wouldn't be as colorful as the old one was. I actually was able to find it. I can't get to my copy of the chapter proof, but I was going to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, you get a couple of shapers, 3 big size units, 20-man units of Kroot warriors, carnivore squads, because they need it. They have a 6+ armor save, and they'll get shot to pieces if you don't use cover properly. A couple of units of the Kroot hounds, Kroot talks, the big Kroot guns. It could be a pretty fun army. Would it be incredibly successful? Probably not, but it'd be a fun army, right? But yeah, like again, I got that Kroot I painted up right here. Kind of went for grimdark thing. This is the last full model. I'm going to say last full model of 2023 because the Vanguard were just putting backpacks on, and it wasn't a full model paint up. But I was just goofing around with this Kroot carnivore warrior just to see sort of what I could do real quick. It's a dry brush special and some washes. That's it, just to kind of get it looking somewhat done quick there. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I could see myself maybe doing. I was just, you know what? The kill team is in there as well. That'd be another unit, sort of an elite unit of Kroot, because we don't have that anymore, right? They never really did. That's the cool thing about the mercenary list, is a lot of it harkens back to the day of like 3rd edition and early 4th, where sort of it was a bit more devil may care, right? They would not build specific units on purpose. They said, hey, go to town. I want to grab it sometimes. I always wanted to do a Kroot kill team of Kroot. It's cool. It is a cool looking list. Let me just pull it up here. That's one of the other things I want to do this year. One of the things that I want to get my head wrapped around and get into is actually learning how to use some of the screen share stuff so you guys can actually see what I'm seeing. That's one of the things that I've been rather lax on. I think maybe I've failed in a certain aspect of not getting my head around that stuff. Maybe it's just because I'm old dog trying to learn new tricks. But yeah, so you're talking about the Farstalker kin band, which I guess they're sort of their take on the old mercenary list, because they've got a whole bunch of different weapons. They've got the cool Kroot hounds. They've got some specialized gear that you don't normally see in there. Yeah, Kroot Farstalkers are experienced explorers and savvy mercenaries roaming the galaxy in search of exotic prey and plunder. Farstalker kinbands act as scouts for wandering Kroot warsphere ships, seeking out fresh employers and profitable war zones under the command of a skilled kill broker. Equal parts wily negotiator and keen tactician, armed with sturdy hunting weapons and strange enemy weaponry, taking as loot and payment alike, these stealthy gene hunters stalk the battlefield, springing deadly ambushes to bring in worthy bounty. So they're cool, and that is right up the with the old mercenary list. And they got an awesome image of, I guess, the leader. He's got a pulse rifle, show their allegiance to the Tau. It looks to be a sniper rifle. Just a number of the Kroot hunting rifles in there. It's pretty cool. Yeah, one looks like a sniper rifle. They also have ones that look like they've got some heavier weaponry, some close combat specialty. One almost looks like a shotgun. Looks pretty cool. Looking to restream. I will use it for free and pay for more options. You see, that's exactly what I get into. I'm going to look into that, and I'm going to try doing that starting sometime in the new year. I think it'll be better for my stream, be more fun, more interactive for you guys. Like right now, I've got the list up for the Kroot mercenaries. I love that list. It was such a wonderful list. It was completely fluffy. Like you wouldn't be taking this to a tournament But it was such a, and it's fun to look back at the old days, right? So yeah, but the thing with the Kroot, and I like this kill team they have, is it is reminiscent back in the day. See, the Kroot are a funny species when it comes to Tau. They've sort of embraced the whole greater good thing. Obviously, they understand that they can do more and they're safer with the Tau backing them. And but the Kroot society is dependent on fresh streams of prey. That's how they evolve. It's how they keep their species from hitting stagnation. If they actually did what the Tau wanted to do and stopped consuming prey, they would die. The whole species would stagnate, die. So that's what the Kroot mercenaries were doing. Sort of that sneakiness that even the Tau employ with their ethereals and their water caste diplomats and all that. They on one hand they're like, yeah, absolutely, Tau, love what you're doing. We're totally for the greater good. Yeah, we're totally gonna fight for you. We'll be your close combat ambush guys. Add some savagery, and we will totally not be selling our other parts of our kin to the highest bidder to fight for them. And it's cool the story around this list. I don't have that on this list here, but the other stuff was that there's one. I'm not sure if it's actually here. It might be. Let me just look through here. Signature adaptations. There was a cool, not really here, story of guardsmen fighting through a forest. They get ambushed by the enemy, only for the enemy to get ambushed by a bunch of Kroot who happen to be on the Imperial Guard side. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, they need this fresh. When Tau first came out, I got them right away, just something different. But I fell in love with the Kroot part. Yeah, they're definitely not the best units nowadays. You will not be seeing them winning any championships or any tournaments, but it is a fun list. The original list itself was different, right? So you had, what was it? You had, there was a whole bunch of things. Like back in the day, you couldn't, they had a special rule, Eaters of the Dead. So and this is in 3rd edition, if you defeated a unit, you could run, you could try and chase them down and completely destroy them. You couldn't do that. The Kroot would stop to eat their prey, right? They need that valuable DNA and all that, right? They also were experts in jungle stuff. They got extra cover. They could infiltrate, which is basically the scout now. They had what's basically the hyperactive Nymoon organ adaptation, which basically allowed them to have fleet of foot. And now that's basically just the advanced move we have now. Beforehand, you couldn't do that unless you had fleet of foot. You give up your shooting, fleet of foot, fleet of hoof, fleet of claw. It was all the same thing. You got that extra move. Now that's the assault move, right? Just or the advance, I should say, not assault, advance. Now they had the other cool thing, and they had these signature adaptations basically on what they ate. So you had bold. By concentrating on hunting prey, known for its courageousness, the squad adds +1 to its leadership characteristic. You had chameleon, so they hunted stuff that chameleon reptiles. You had a 6+ cover save in the open. Basically, you started disappearing. You had fast reflexes. They had +1 initiative. If you don't know what initiative is, if you're newer to it, initiative was how fast you were in combat. So nowadays, you charge in, unless you have the fights first rule, you charge, you get to go first. Back in the day, if you've charged, you may not go to first if your initiative is lower than your opponent. So it was cool. You had Nocturnal, which was you could re-roll dice to determine how far you can see night fighting missions. That was kind of cool. Night fighting missions you couldn't see very far. It's night, right? This allowed you. The cool one I think most people took was the Orc Hybrid. So often referred to as Green Kroot Umals increased their toughness by +1. So they just became tougher, right? And you had Sixth Sense. You had it helped. The Sixth Sense one allow you to avoid getting killed so easily by template weapons like flamers and blast templates. And again, that's not something we have now. But it was a really cool list because you had a whole bunch of different weapons, right? You could have, like, most guys were armed with, like, the Master Shaper was armed with a Kroot rifle. That's again the basic weapon, but they could upgrade, especially the shapers. So they could have things like a bolt or a bolt pistol, slug, shuriken catapult, splinter rifle, melting gun, plasma flamer, storm bolter, melta bombs. Right? They could have a whole bunch of, and that was basically just having the gear that was given to them, or was part of their payment. And again, they kind of broke it down into Kroot is the best how they are. Kroot is the best how they were. They were pretty fun. They actually broke it down, and I think that new kill team is kind of similar in a way, in the fact that you could you have some sort of like kill leader, the guy that's getting them. You had a master shaper, and he ruled over the mercenary band, right? He's one who mediated the contracts. He led wars. He was right, and he had a whole bunch of different things, right? He was, you could group him, you could have him accompanied by up to 2 Kroot hounds. That was important for again that Eaters of the Dead. The Kroot hounds could actually make extra attacks where he couldn't. So my kids needs water there. And of course, he could have all the extra gear. He had more wounds, higher attacks. He was the leader, right? What else? Let's see here. Oh, yeah. The other cool thing is he could be given wings. And this is one of the cool things. This is a unit they never built. Now, again, Kroot with wings, we don't actually see that, right? Make Kroot great again. Oh, wait, they were never great. They weren't bad. Kroot could be pretty devastating back in the day. Nowadays, yeah, they're pretty useless. Well, comparatively, but you give them wings. So they basically had a jump pack, right? Then underneath them, you had a Shaper Council, which was 3 to 5 Shapers, and you could have you take 2 Kroot hounds per Shaper. So you could have a unit of like 5 Shapers and 10 Kroot hounds. So again, they could have things like power weapons and all the cool gear and all that. They could have. They could take the hyperactive and immune organ adaptation, so for your foot. They could take wings, so you could have a whole flying unit, right? But yeah, so you could have. Well, if you took the wings, you couldn't take the hounds, so you're kind of a trade-off of being able to move faster, but not being able to do extra damage while chasing down your opponents, right? Oh yeah, and then you could actually get them psychic powers. The Kroot, the Master Shaper. You could give them minor psychic powers, which is another thing. It doesn't exist anymore. Not the same way. And then you got your elites. But I want to get Kroot, Kill Team, and Beastman. Go for it. Get them. They're obviously different, right? Next year, elites, which doesn't exist anymore the same way. These guys were Kroot, your headhunter kindred. That was your Scots, right? They were 10 to 20 Kroot. Let's see here. You had it, and again, this is different. You could have a Kroot Shaper in each unit as well, right? So the guy, you had a Master Shaper, you had a Shaper Council, and each unit has a Shaper, right? These guys had they were basically just like Kroot. They had the Kroot rifle, which was really cool because the Kroot rifle itself was cool because it was a rapid fire weapon. It's pretty much the same as it is now, but you got an extra close combat attack because of the spike attachments. I'll actually show you here. So he's got a spike here. He also has a spike, which you can't see, which is the point of it's right there. So, and with their reflexes, they may look spindly, but it's like just packed dense muscle. So they get extra attacks with it. So instead of having 1 attack each, they all had 2. So not so bad. But these guys could actually, they actually had eaten poison creatures. So they could actually make a normal attack or make a poison attack. And it wound on a 4+. So again, it was one of those ways of allowing you to wound and hurt things better. So like nowadays, it'd be like anti-infantry 4+, right? You're wounding everything on a 4+, if not better, depending on your strength, right? And I'm not sure what they are now, but they are strength 4, toughness 3 back in the day. And then you had your Stalker Kindred, which again was a bunch of Kroot. One had to be a Shaper. And now these guys could use jungle fighting rules instead of ambushes like the Catacans could, right? So you could set up your units would just kind of pop out of nowhere, and you could set up. It was a bit different, right? It was basically your unit is hiding in the woods. It pops it when necessary. Then you had your troops, which is your Kroot carnivores, just like they are now. They got the Kroot rifle. You could have a Shaper. That was just it. They didn't have anything special. Just a simple unit, again, like the carnivores we have now. Pretty cool list, though. Like, of course, then you had your fast attack, which was your Vulture Kindred. Now, these are the guys that, again, 10 to 20 Kroot vultures. They each had a Kroot rifle. Now they had the wings, and so they could actually act like jump troops, right? So the whole unit could jump really quickly around the board. It wasn't, it's, again, they didn't have units models for these. There's never been a Kroot with a wing attachment to it ever. That was something you had to build on your own. You had the Kroot Hound packs, which is just like you have now. It's different. It wasn't just a pack on. So when you had a 10 to 20 Kroot and 5 to 20 Kroot Hounds, of course, you had to have a Shaper. It was a must back in the day. And obviously nowadays, when you get like a unit of assault intercessors, right, one of them's already sergeant. Stat-wise, it's no different now. Back then, of course, they could have different gear back then. It was a higher bit of leadership for the most part. You got an extra attack. In this case, you got extra wounds. Normally you wouldn't, but it's a bit of extra leadership, an extra attack, and access to the gear, right? Now these guys were just a whole bunch of Kroot Hounds. It gave you a whole ability to have just a lot of this unit running around with a lot of extra attacks. Kroot Hounds had 2 attacks each. Very tough. Just a cool looking unit too. Your Tracker Kindred. Now we're working a fast attack here, right? So this is your close support. These guys had the Kroot hunting rifle, which I'm not sure. I'm gonna check that out. Now I don't think anybody has a Kroot hunting rifle anymore. I'm just gonna check here on how. Let's see here. So data sheets. I don't think. Oh, let's see here. Kroot. See if the Far Stalkers have them. Doesn't look like they do. Now they have different things. They have the Dvorgite Skinner. No, that's a Flamer. You have your Far Stalker firearm, which is just like their Kroot rifles, Kroot pistol. Londaxi Tribalist, which is an anti-vehicle. So that's doesn't look like it. So the Kroot hunting rifle, if I'm smart about this, let's look up here. The Kroot hunting rifle. Sorry, I was trying to get back on my phone here. Come on, let me in. Oh, okay. So the Kroot hunting rifle was a sniper rifle, essentially. Now, and you had a whole unit of these guys. Tracker Kindred. Yeah, so it's 5 to 10. It's basically 5 to 10 Kroot trackers, the hunting rifle. And that's cool. These guys have cavalry. And this is where we get to going back to what Games Workshop showed off. This is the unit I want to get to. You saw the silhouette of a Kroot on some sort of riding creature. Now, again, these never had models. Okay, these were if you ever saw them, I think they had an example here somewhere. This list may not have it here, but I know in the actual chapter proof they talked about it. They just took old school, either it was lizard men or dark elf cold ones, and just put a towel on top of them. Modified the legs, or not a towel, but a Kroot on top of it. So they actually had cavalry, right? So they rolled a Narlock. They were cavalry. They could infiltrate if the rules allowed. They counted on having aspects so they could see enemies, but it was just a unit of very fast-moving snipers, right? So imagine 10 of those guys, all armed with sniper rifles now, moving around the battlefield very quickly. Now, again, things have slightly changed, but these guys are pretty much the same stat line. 1 wound, not very the best leadership, nothing in the way of armor. And then you had the Hunter Kindred, which now we move on to heavy support. We had Hunter Kindred, which was, again, 5 to 10 Kroot with Kroot hunting rifles. Again, so these guys were not, these are basically like the Tracker Kindred, except they're not on, they're on foot. They're not, right? So these guys would be moving around. So you have the Tracker Kindred, which is sort of slipping through, infiltrating. These guys are just sitting back there firing away, offering fire support for the carnivores squads. And then you got the Krootoks, what we call the your big guns. These guys had the big Kroot guns, and they were 10 to 20 Kroot on foot and 3 to 5 Krootoks. Now again, that's different. These guys have the big Kroot guns, the big heavy weapons, really the heaviest weapon they've got. Now, back in the day, they were rapid fire, but they were strength 7, AP 4, so they could put a herd out there. Now, if I look at them, and of course they had traps as well. So you have a pit that they could use. Again, that was something out of Codex Catechans. Then, if you went in there, you fell in, and you took a strength 4 hit. But look at them now. Let's see here. So you have the Kroot Carnivore Squad, which is basically hasn't changed much. Their movement, they're still strength 4, toughness 3. Basically, their melee weapons are strength 4, but they movement 7, toughness 3, 6+ armor save, 1 wound, leadership 7+, and OC 1. So, and they are not a battle line at all. What's cool is they've taken that whole Eaters of the Death thing and turned it into what's called Grizzly Feast. Now, the whole pretty much every Kroot carnivore squad and some of the other ones have a stealth and scout, right? Obviously, harkening back to the fact they can infiltrate. Stealth just means they're harder to hit. It's -1 to your hit. So, it does allow them a little bit of survivability compared to being out in the open. You definitely don't want these guys out in the open. You want to use cover properly. Let's see here. Their Kroot rifles, the same as it was. I'm just trying to see here what their ballistic skill was. Let's see, it was 3. Okay, so it makes sense. So yeah, so they're hitting on a 4+. It's strength 4, rapid fire 1. So this really hasn't changed much. Damage 1, AP, no AP. And then they have the Kroot rifle. Again, it's pretty much the same. They get 2 attacks, hitting a 3+, strength 4, 0 AP, 1 damage. But if you get the Grizzly Feast, if they destroy an enemy in the fight phase until the end of the battle, they have Feel No Pain 5+ ability. So, I mean, get them out there, get them destroying something in close combat as soon as possible. And now they have a 5+ Feel No Pain, which completely trumps their armor save of a 6+, right? I remember reading this, they said, do not put these guys out in front of a, bolter range, right? In front of a Space Marine bolter fire, and that hasn't changed. Intercessor squad gets a hold of these guys. Hell, even a normal tactical squad or scout squad gets a hold of these guys. These guys are toast, right? A squad of guardsmen could make these guys toast. They don't survive very well. They never did. But that's why you're seeing your adaptations. All of a sudden you give them the Orc 1, and they're toughness 4, right? It gives them a bit more stability. Now they don't have the ability anymore. Kroot Hounds haven't really changed that much. Let's see here. Kroot Hound. Yeah. Still toughness 3, 1 wound. Movement 12, so they're very fast, right? Strength 3, which is actually a downgrade from back in the day. It used to be strength 4, so now they're strength 3. So again, but you can have, I think, up to where'd it go? I think you can have unit composition. You can have up to 12 of them. So 12 Kroot Hounds. with 3 attacks piece. That's not bad. Again, good for tying up units or maybe going after weaker, fleshier, easier to eat units. We get the Crutox Riders. Now again, I looked at the old one here where you had what was it? You could have up to 20 Crute and 5 of these guys together in one unit. Well, that doesn't work the same way. Now you can have up to 3 of them in a squad. They've got the Crutox gun and the Crutox fists. The Crutox gun hasn't really changed. Obviously, it's AP 0 now, so it's not as punchy as it used to be back in 3rd. Still same range. You get 2 attacks with it, which isn't bad. Strength 7, hitting on a 4+, 2 damage. Again, you probably won't be taking out too many Terminators with this, or heavily armored things. You probably won't be doing too much damage to tanks. But you could. These guys do provide what little heavy weaponry that the Crute have is in these guys, right? Hey, not a problem. I was late getting on too. Family stuff tonight too. At the last bit of a Christmas New Year's Eve party with the family there. Kids got to see grandparents. We're just talking about my love of Crute. We've been going through the old Crute mercenary list and looking at some of the new units. But yes, the Crutox Riders. Now the cool thing is some melee weapons, if you say it, actually offer some punch. You get 4 attacks, weapon skill 3 with the Crutox, strength 6, AP -1, damage 2. So these guys actually get some hurting in. These guys don't have stealth, obviously, but they do have the scout special rule. What's cool about these guys is that it says Crute pack mates, which kind of goes, again, harkens back to the fact that they used to have Crute with them. While one or more friendly Crute carnivore units within 6 inches of the unit, each time the model is in this unit makes attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So again, it helps them. It helps them be a little bit better just by having Crute around them. So you keep them close to a Crute unit, have them supporting the Crute as they charge up. In a cool list, you may have, since Crute on battle line, you're only going to have 3 units. So I'd say having 3 units of 20 Crute, just for the numbers that you're going to need for just rolling enough dice to start actually hurting something. And then you have 3 units of 3 Crutox Riders backing up, each one staying close enough to put out the firepower, some extra support. And of course, when charging a combat, then they can charge into and start doing some of the damage. And in front of that, you put 3 big units of 12 Crute Hound squads just to soak up some fire, because now they're going to have to choose between that big unit of Crute carnivores or the big unit of Crute Hounds. And I mean, some armies will have the firepower to do it. And then each one will have a Crute Shaper, right? Just because they have some cool stuff too. They have options. They can have the pulse rifle or Crute rifle. I definitely take the pulse rifle. It's strength 5 and it's 30 inches instead of 24. It's still rapid fire 1, which is good. Again, these guys, excuse me, haven't changed much. Still 3 wounds. They have a better leadership. Their save actually got worse. It used to be a 5+, not 6+. Their toughness 3 like before. But they do have the Shaper's Ritual Blade, which gives them 3 attacks, hit on 2+, strength 5. Again, you don't want these guys going up against something big. If you're going up against something heavier, you want your Crutox to charge. But they do have some cool abilities. They have Stealth, Leader, Scout 7-inch. It says, okay, well, the models leading unit, models in unit have the Field No Pain 6+ ability. So again, if you have the 3 big squads of Crute and you put these guys in, they have a 6+ Field No Pain, which isn't great, but it may save them from even something as simple as a bolter rifle fire, right? Just going through them. If models that you destroy an enemy unit in the fight phase, then to the end of battle, while this model's leading unit, models in the unit have the Feel No Pain 4+ ability instead. So without just having a Shaper in the squad, all of a sudden they have 6+ Feel No Pain. If they destroy it without a Shaper, it's 5+. With a Shaper, it's 4+ Feel No Pain, which is good. They have Ritualistic Feeding. So basically, at the end of a charge movement until the end of the turn, they get 3 extra attacks with their Shaper's Blade. So they have 6 attacks, which isn't too bad. Again, this is, if you try to build this army, it is based on just trying to get as many dice going as at the same time. There's not much for rerolls. Yeah, that, like, they can't do much. They can only carnivore squads. They get a pulse rifle. There's not much to them. Let's see here. It is cool that you can do them. If I go to the detachment, I think the only one they can really use, if I was looking at enhancements, they use Precision of Patient Hunter, which makes sense for a Master Shaper. They should be patient. Which is nice. Each time Barra makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit roll. So that's definitely one of the Shapers would get that. And from the 3rd battle round onwards, it adds +1 to the wound roll. So that pulse rifle will be able to hit better and wound better for a little bit. But yeah, they can't really use anything else. So it would be a rather limited. It would be a little bit more limited, but it would still be fun to do. And of course, I can't forget, if we look at the go back to the Kroot here. If we look at, where'd you go? The Far Stalkers. Again, similar, they still have the same range. They have the same stat lines. So you're not really gaining much in that, but they do have, the Dvorgite Skinner, so they would have a Flamer, which is AP -1. You get your Londaxi Tribalist, which is anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds heavy. So it's hitting on 4+. You stand still, hitting, or sorry, 5+. If it's 3 attacks, strength 7, AP -1, 1 damage. You can have a pulse carbine or pulse rifle, which adds a little bit. Again, not a lot of AP stuff here, but the abilities, they have Infiltrators and Stealth. They have Bounty Hunters. At the start of the battle, select 1 unit from your opponent's army. Each time all unit makes an attack that targets a unit, the attack has lethal hits and precision abilities. So that's cool. I would definitely want a unit or 2 of Far Stalkers in there, sort of the elite units of the Kroot, to definitely be doing what doing extra bits of damage, offering some more tactical viability in the fact that you can get some anti-armor, some anti-tank, and maybe the Flamer in there to do some more damage. It's AP -1, so I'm actually starting to cut through armor. Not such a bad thing there. I don't know. I think it's something. It would definitely require a lot of painting, because you're looking at, and you need the numbers. You need the numbers. You're looking at least 60 Kroot carnivore warriors. Then add on another 9 for the Krootox, and 9 miles for the Krootox with the heavy weapons, because you need that fire support to do to take out slightly beefier targets. Add on the 3 Shapers, and then 3 units of 12 Kroot Hounds. So you're looking at 36 more models on top of this. You're looking at just over 100 models, and there's a very good chance that your models will die horribly because the armor save is atrocious. You'd have to hug cover with certain units. You'd have to move out with other units appropriately, offering fire support wherever you could. They don't get to benefit from a lot of rules right now because they aren't Tau per se. They don't, but I think it'd be a really cool, funny army to make. Like I was saying at the beginning of this ramble of Kroot love that I have here, every time they put out something new from the Kroot, I'm like, should I start a Kroot army? That'd be kind of cool. And that's why when I saw it, I'm like, oh, I got to try painting this guy up. So I painted this Kroot warrior up. Just some dry brush specials, several browns, some silver, some bone colors in there, just to try to make him look kind of grim dark, got the blades on him done up, painted up all little quills coming to his head, and he's got little ones along the legs and the arms, just these little bony protrusions. I mean, I think it would look like a fantastically cool army. Even you could even do it up quick with lots of dry brushing because of their some of the cool musculature they have and their weapons. But at the same time, that's a lot of models to paint up for one. Thank you, Ethos. It's a lot of models to paint up for an army that you're probably not going to win a lot with, which isn't the bad thing. And I firmly believe in the rule of cool, right? Having a cool army kind of trumps being victorious all the time and winning every battle. But it's cool. Obviously, it because it is a list built on out of a Tau Codex. You don't get a lot of the cool stuff they used to have. No more Shaper's Council, no Master Shaper. Excuse me. Good day. You don't have all the cool gear. No one spitting poison. No one with wings. A Vulture Kindred would be fantastic. And part of me, when I saw that silhouette of the Kroot on that, I went, oh wow, that's a Kroot on some sort of riding beast. And I instantly went back to this list going, man, that could be Tracker Kindred, right? Like, are we going to see a new Kroot thing? Like, it'd be cool to see a Kroot list. I don't think Games Workshop will ever. It could be some new kill team thing. It could be just a cool character to throw in with a new Tau book at some point. I mean, hell, if they decide to throw in some new units for Tau, and they threw in stuff like that's here's a whole bunch of new Kroot units to really pump up the Kroot, because they do realize people like the Kroot. I would be shocked if there wasn't a mercenary list or something that allow you to have a more robust list. Like I said, painting up, 60 Kroot warriors is a lot, and it's very much doable. It's there's nothing to them, right? The new. Let me just look here again. Where'd they go? Kroot carnivores. You'd be painting up, unit composition. You're painting up 6 of these guys. 20 of them's only 110 points. To have no extra weapons, just have the Kroot rifle, a whole unit of 20 guys with the same weapon, no variation. I mean, there's variation poses and stuff like that, but there's nothing extra about them. There's no special weapons. They don't have anything. You're kind of just moving like big blobs. I mean, even orcs have more sort of character or variation to their boy squads. At least someone in that unit. A knob of sort gets some extra weapons. A power claw, you can get some missile launchers. You can get a big shootout, right? A rocket launcher, something like that, right? I know the things have changed a bit, but I don't know. Plus, I think it'd be cool to get bigger herds of Krootox. Maybe some new Krootox models would be awesome. I'd love to see some new Kroot Hounds. I'd love to see some Tracker Kindred. Vulture Kindred would be amazing. Excuse me. Oh, I think it'd be cool to see some new models, some new variation on there. Because it was a really, really cool list. And they did have other things. Obviously, we have these enhancements. They used to have what was totems back in the day. And it was everything from Kroot Hawk totem allow you to reroll dice determining the first turn of the game. You had the big one, which is Marketh's favorite child, and only the Master Shaper could have that. And it says the ancestor of Clee mark this character is bound for great things. The character gains a 4+ invulnerable save. Now, that's one of the other things. There's not a single vulnerable save this entire army. If your leaders are all Shapers, that's it. They give their unit feel no pain 6+. If you do destroy an enemy unit in close combat, you do get a 4+ feel no pain, but that's not the same thing as a vulnerable save, right? So it is a vulnerable army, but a lot of fun. Again, I know I'm always tempted, and so looking forward. So if we were to look forward to 2024, got lots of Marines to paint up. It'd be cool to start a Kroot army, but I don't know. That'll be one of those things that 2024 that I'll be sitting there going, I don't know. I'd have to see what happens with new Kroot. It would be expensive proposition too, because God, I don't even know how much those things cost. Excuse me. Let's see here. Let's go. Xenos armies, Tau. So yeah, like the Farstalker King Band's $75. Let's see here. Let's go down. Where are you, Kroot? Where are you, Kroot? A Kroot Shaper is $26, so I'd need at least 3 of those. Kroot Hounds are $38 for 4. And then you have your, where did they go? Did I pass them up? Oh yeah, and then your Kroot Carnivore Squads are $55 each. You get 16 in a box, which doesn't make much sense to me, since you can have up to 20. So you have to buy at least 3 boxes to get a start. And you'd have basically 15, or you have to buy 4 boxes technically. You'd have 16 for the first 3 boxes, and you have to take 4 from the other boxes to fill those up to make 20. So the last box would only have another 4 in it. So I mean, it's not so bad. You have to buy 4 boxes of those. So you're looking at well over $200 just on Carnivores alone. And then another, was it another 75 for the Kroot Shapers, the 3 Shapers. And then it was like 38 for the Kroot Hounds. You need at least 9 units of that. So it's $38 times 9. Wow. And then your Kroot Riders are $36 a pop, and you need at least 9 of those. So you're looking at a lot of money for an army that may not do that well. But I think that would be right at this moment, I think that would be sort of like my dream. Obviously, my Ultramarines always be my dream army, but if I could have like a dream army that was sort of different than trying to build up something that is fun but can still win, it's just a full-on fun army where you just throw it out there and have a great time and don't care what happens to it. They can all get blown off the table. It'll all be bag of it'd be so much fun. That would be sort of my dream weird army at this point, right? But yeah, no, that would be my dream army. That would be something I'd definitely be excited for in 2024 to have a chance to do that. Although that is a lot of money, and it'll be something that might take several years to fully get done up, just because it is kind of expensive. Again, one of the other things I would hesitate on that is having to buy Kroot Hounds and Kroot Hawks that, again, may or may not be there in a new codex. They may just become legends, like a lot of things have. They may get replaced. Who knows? I think that's sort of something that's going to be over top of a lot of gamers' heads in 2024. Just seeing what gets removed. Now, some have been lucky to sell the Necrons. Only lost the Overlord model. Still a great model. Sad that it's gone, but it's been replaced with other stuff, and that's really it. Space Marines, we lost so much stuff into Legends. A lot of models that obviously you can still play with. We've talked about that. I talked about it in my my super successful Can We Saver models. I'm still shocked by that, and thank you guys, everybody here, for watching that. It's been my biggest video ever. But obviously, you can still use these models. There's nothing stopping you. And there are lots of great comments. There's nothing stopping you if you have the old rule books and all models. Nothing stopping you from going back and playing 4th, 5th, 6th, 3rd edition, whatever one you wanted to. Obviously, some people don't have access to those things. They're gone, and it's hard to get them now. They are expensive online if you're trying to go back and get old stuff. But obviously, you can still use those models. But if you're trying to stay up to date, you're trying to stay with the meta, it's painful. We lost a lot of models. We lost a lot of units. If you're trying to play a more up-to-date game using all the stuff that the current codex has, we lost so much stuff. I think we'll see the same thing happen with the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, Black Templars. Chaos is going to lose stuff. I guarantee you stuff will be gone from Chaos. They might get new stuff. You never know. I think they've sort of pushed the story towards there being Primaris Chaos Space Marines soon enough. They may get new stuff there. Who knows? But I mean, I can see Dark Angels are going to lose their Ravenwing squads as they are now, and they'll be getting basically upgrades to the Outriders. That'll be your Ravenwing. Obviously, they're getting new Terminators, so that's a 1-for-1 switch, kind of like the Terminators Standard Marines got, and the Stern Guard squads are just a 1-for-1 trade. That'll happen. I think we're going to see the Land Speeders gone. Of course, they're going to be gone from that list too. Blood Angels, they're going to lose a bunch of stuff. I think we're going to see some characters disappear. Carbulo's going to go. Anybody who isn't Primaris will either disappear or get a Primaris model. Obviously not guaranteed. We lost a bunch of characters. The Ultramarines did. Maybe one day they'll come back. Maybe next edition we'll see them return. Who knows? I think Death Company, your standard Death Company, your classic Firstborn Death Company will go. They'll be gone because you got new ones that are all Primarisized. Again, lots of stuff will just be there as well. It's going to be weird to see. Some units may not lose anything. The Guard, for instance, got a bunch of brand new stuff, so they may not lose much. There's other armies like the Leagues that won't lose anything. Gene Stealer cults probably is anything. Tau, again, we get to the Tau here. I could see a lot of crude stuff disappearing. I could see the Vespid Stingwings disappearing, maybe replaced with something new, maybe new models. I don't see a lot of people. No one really took a lot of Stingwings. They were, back in the day, they were really good at killing Space Marines, but that was kind of it. They were lots of a small amount of heavy hitting shots, good for taking out Marines, but if you threw them against a larger unit, they suffered horribly, right? And they weren't good at close combat. The unit itself was small. So I think that's definitely something to look out for 2024. Not to put a damper on 2024 before it's even started, but I can see that sort of being something to look out for. But yeah, what are you guys hoping for in 2024? What's one of your hobby? I'm not going to say hobby resolutions because, but what's your hobby hopes or hobby dreams for 2024? What's something that you hope you get or can do or see in the hobby in the next year? Let me know, guys, because I'd love to see what you guys are expecting. I'm hoping to get more models painted up this year. I did a pretty good number this year. I got all said and done. I got 3 Aggressors done, 5 Infernus Marines. I got those 5 Assault Marines. Basically, I did those Assault Marines several times now. I took those Marines, turned them into Assault Squad, and I've turned them into a Vanguard Squad. So it's under 5 models. Got this Crew guy done up. So it's been a pretty good year. Did some other cool stuff. Got an Orc, more content, and more painting models. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's what I want to do. I want to get more models painted up. I think starting with those Reavers is going to be a great idea. They're going to be fun to paint up. I don't know. I'm 2023 was such a weird year. Lots of up and downs. It was probably the most successful year I've had for this channel. At the same time, there was a very real possibility I was going to shut everything down. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I stopped and I said no. You put a lot of time and effort, which doesn't necessarily mean that just because you put time and effort that it's worth doing. But it definitely, for me, it was something, right? Well, thank you, Mythos. And that's not a pity thing. And I think a lot of people have gotten to the point where like, man, do I still want to do this? And I do. And I'm glad I did the painting challenge. I think that's one of the things that boosted me up because I got some content done. Not content, I should say. I mean, I did. But I got models done. I actually produced something, which is important. But yeah, no, it's weird. And you see that. You see that in a lot of those things that I talk about, celebrities or athletes. Not that I'm saying I'm a celebrity by any stretch of imagination. Don't get me wrong. But, where like everything's taking off and they're still really sad. I think a lot of us go through that. And definitely in 2024, I'm going to work on my mental health and being more positive and more thankful for what I have and what I've accomplished here. Um, uh, I mean, I'm still in shock with my video there. I can't. I don't know. I'm still like I don't even know what to say about it. Like, to get that many views on a video and have that many likes and all the engagement. It doesn't matter if it was I mean, I got probably the highest number of dislikes, but still engagement, still people offering some sort of communication, which is always important. Wow, like I still can't believe it. It was, yeah. We're glad, man, and next year I'm up for collaboration, other cool stuff. I would love to collaborate with more people. I can definitely tell you I've been hesitant to collaborate with people because I am a small channel. That's okay. That's being generous. I'm an insanely small channel. Small channels are, the ones that have made it to the 1,000 subscribers, or it's 500 subscriber mark now. The ones that have sort of popped up a little bit on the radar of YouTube. I'm not. But for me, collaboration was always something that benefited both people. Any collaboration I do would probably benefit me more than someone else. Like if I was to go up to some of the big names out there in the hobby world, and go, "Hey guys, you want to collaborate?" They'd look at me like, "Why? Like what would we benefit?" And that is a lot of it. Sometimes it would be like, "Hey, yeah, sure." I'm assuming there'd be a few go, "Yeah, man, let's collaborate." Other times they would look at the benefit to them and go, "There's no benefit here." So that's why I've been hesitant to collaborate with anybody. I've wanted to, but I definitely, that's my mindset on it. It needs to be something that's worthwhile for both people. Hottest celebrity of 2023, me? Oh God, no. Ooh, no, God, no. Hottest celebrity, no, that's not me. Mythos, I think you're talking about yourself, man. Okay, you stud muffin, you. But yeah, no, it's definitely 2023 is a weird year. I'm hoping 2024 will be a bit more fun. I definitely want 2024 to be the year where I get all my Marines done. I know that's a big wish. That's a big ask, but I'd want to get the Reavers done, the Reaver Lieutenant, the Hellblasters. I'd want to get my Terminators done, Terminator Captain, Terminator Librarian, the Apothecary Biologist, whatever you call it, the Lieutenant with Combi Weapon. I still have a lot to get done. I have another Terminator to get done, a Terminator Librarian to get done. That's. Oh, and of course I got Ventress to do and Gulliman to do. So this is a year I'd like to get all that done if I could, just to have them done up and finished, and that way you can say, look what I accomplished this year. I think definitely, just like G said, more painting, more models complete. That's definitely my number one goal for this year is to get more done. And then of course, to tease myself with a Crude Army, that may never will be. That's a massive investment of time and money. I don't know. I need it. Yeah, I need it. And actually, unfortunately, I gotta buy a new green paint because one of mine dried up, which sucks. And it was the base green I needed for his cloak, so I have to order up one of those too, so I can get his cloak done because I want to get the green looking nice on his cloak there, the 4th Company green. But yeah, definitely. I definitely need to get him done, and those lieutenants done, the captain and librarians. I need more HQs. That's the other thing this year. With all those models disappearing, technically, obviously because of the new codex. If I was to play it on a more of a competitive game, someone wanted to, in a store or something like that, I have one HQ choice right now. My HQ choices got gutted. Beforehand, I had at least 5 captain models. I had I had 6 captain models, I had obviously some characters. I had Chaplin. I had Tellian done. I had Cassius done up. So I had some special characters. I had and I had Chaplain, a lieutenant, a whole number of captains, a whole ton of HQ choices, lots to choose from, lots of different configurations. Now I'm down right now to a lieutenant because I haven't gotten any other HQ choices painted up. So I got to get those guys done too, just to sort of get things going a bit. I need more choices because right now my HQ choices are severely limited, which is no bueno at all. So I need to get those done up. Now this is definitely a year though that I want to I want to get more accomplished than I have in other years, and that may not. I may never get a video that has the same impact that Can I Save Them video did. I hope I do, but who knows? I would love to get them, but I definitely want to get more done. I do definitely want to collaborate more with people, and I got to get my head out of that space of it's only good if both of us gain something. Because I think I've been thinking about that. I think people in the hobby just getting together is a bonus for everybody. They can share ideas, share fun, share some laughs. I think that's always a bonus for everybody. The other thing I want to do this year is I want to get some games in. It has been years since I had a game, and I definitely need to get some games going. I'm all for that, and I think there's lots of small shit. Yeah, there could be. I'd love to start collaborating with people and sharing some laughs and some chatting about our favorite grimdark universe. But I definitely want to get some games in. I need to get some games in. I am so rusty. I used to know the rules like that, and I have to get back to that. I want to get back to it again where I can know all the rules. I don't have to be checking, what does this do again? What does that do again? And there's lots of rules to go through, and I'll probably mess up 1,000 times. And I will lose so many games, but I just want to get playing again. I want to get my Marines on table and just have the battle start rolling some dice. I haven't had a chance to in years. Between all the stuff with COVID and then just general life stuff, I definitely need to start making time to play again, because for me that's one of the biggest factors in actually painting more is actually experiencing it, because I'm not painting to win any painting contests. Painting itself is great. It's relaxing. I love getting a model done, but I also need I always found, especially one back in the day, it was Warrior Games or just playing games all the time. It was easy. It's stuff that I can't wait to get this unit out. It's going to kick some ass. It's going to do this, boom, boom. Now it's like, well, I painted a unit up just to basically sit in a carrying case. And the carrying case is collecting dust. So, I definitely want to get that in. Definitely need to get that in. Oh, that would be fun. But yeah, I'm going to torture myself some more. But what was that? Sorry. Gee, what was that live stream you said in? And to restream. I'm going to look that up right now, because I restream. I will definitely have to look that up and see what's going on with that. I will be looking that up tomorrow as I prep for the new year. Yeah, I'm going to torture myself with Tau stuff. I definitely, now I really want to start a crude army. I think it'd be a ton of fun, but that's a lot of crude to paint. That is a lot of crude to paint. I find when I get games, I paint more. Yeah, I think that a lot of us are that way. You play more, you have the inspiration, the drive to paint more, because you want to get bigger games in. I'd have to start at like 1,000-point game to start, and go from there. It's still nice that I had it. I'm glad. I've always been a big fan of boots on the ground, so I have lots of tactical squads. So I can build a rather large army, relatively large army now. If I was playing like, by the standard template that we have now, if I wasn't using all the stuff that's become legends. But I can get 1 HU choice right now. That's kind of embarrassing. I've got 3 tactical squads, assault intercessor squad. I've got a devastator squad. I've got tanks. I've got dreadnoughts. I have to get my ballistus. That's the other one. I forgot about the ballistus right now. He's in there. I got to get him done. Now I've got some tanks. I'm going to add those. I mentioned earlier. I don't know if you guys missed or not. I got those Vanguard with jetpacks. They're done now. I have 2 Vindicators. I have my Black Templar army that I'm going to not fully repaint because I really like the black paint job I did in them. I don't want to ruin that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to repaint the blast part of the interior, the blast shield at the front, the 2 side doors and the back door. I'm going to repaint those in blue to say, hey, look, these are my Ultramarines. When they could be tanks from the 5th Company. 5th Company, the trim is black. They could be support tanks from there, from the 5th Company. I don't know. I really, really like the paint job, so I don't want to ruin it. So I'll put some blue on there to show that, yeah, they're definitely Ultramarines tanks. I think it'd just be easier that way because I really like the paint job. I don't want to get rid of it, but that way I can put them in my Ultramarines army as well and have some more Vindicators. Vindicators are pretty dang cool. They're a pretty good tank. They're a pretty cool tank to have. I don't mind them at all. Yeah, I'm just looking here at the Kroot stuff. So there's my Kroot Carnivore Squad. Yeah, it's a bit of money. That's another thing I think. I think 2024, if I can envision the future, I think it's a year that Games Workshop's going to have to finally deal with the fact that their stuff is becoming too expensive. I think you're going to see it even with all the cool stuff, even with Space Marine 2 coming out, which is going to be big for them in terms of making money. Even with them penning a contract with Amazon to make Warhammer TV, however that comes out, whether it's a series or short stories or whatever it is, and that'll make them a ton of money as well. I think stock-wise, I think it's going to keep going down a bit. I think we're going to be seeing people going, you know what, this is really expensive. It is, and with the way that, real-world implications like inflation and cost of living going up, inflation going up, I think we're going to see a year that's going to be a bit hard for Games Workshop. I don't know. That's just my view on it. I think we're going to see. I mean, they could turn around, but again, when you're looking at prices right now, and I'm looking at a lot of stuff that's online too, which is crazy. But I'm looking at, I want to get the where is it? Even a Fire Warrior team is not it's $70, and that's for your basic unit of guys, and that's just a battle line. Even things like an Ethereal is $40 now. If you want to get something bigger, Riptide is $140 Canadian. The Broadside is $75. Tau Empire Commander in a suit is $75. Right, so it's your Crisis, your XV8 Crisis Battlesuit team is $100 now. So it's definitely getting out there. It's like, man, building an army is pricey. Storm Surge is $220. All your planes are at least $100. Your Hammerhead or your Skyry gunship, basically same, is $85. Your Devilfish is $70. Right, so it's still it's getting up there. It's getting pricey, right? So I think that's definitely going to be something that they're going to have to contend with in 2024. Again, not to be doomy and gloomy. I don't want that. I definitely think it's a reality of the year though that they're going to have. Who knows? Maybe we'll see other things outside of it, like inflation and cost of living, maybe even out a bit. If someone will actually do something concrete about it. But in terms of us as a community, I think we just need to keep helping each other out, keep building each other up, and keep just having fun. right? Play the games you want to play, have fun with the models you want to have fun with. The one of the other things, this is kind of a rambling way to get to it. I definitely want to paint more. I want to game more. I want to have some more great content, obviously in a more selfish, that's all kind of selfish, but I want to paint more models done, get more models done. I want to have more games, or any games for that matter. And I want to put out better content. I want to start collaborating with you awesome folks. The other thing is I definitely want to have a much more positive a viewpoint, outlook. That's what I want, outlook or viewpoint on the hobby in general, my contributions to the community, stuff like that. Because I think that's a big deal for me. And I think a lot of people's mental health, trying to be in a good headspace. I know if I'm in a bad headspace, I don't do anything. It just kills my entire day. I have no motivation. So that's a problem. And part of this, I'm going to do even more, sort of trying to keep the bad out. There's a lot of people, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again because I think it's definitely something that needs to be said. There's a lot of channels out there that, and it's easy to do because it's sort of the machine functions. They bask in the negative aspects of the hobby. They bask in the negativity, in the and unfortunately that's what draws viewers too, right? They bask in the my back, sorry. They bask in the downside of it, right? It's good to be critical. It's good to be thinking about stuff, but they seem to find all their content, all their joy in talking about all the bad aspects of it. And that's not good. If you watch that, it can affect you, because then all you start seeing, and you watch too much of it, it feeds the algorithm and you just see more of it. And I definitely don't want to see it. I want to see the fun videos. I want to see, the cool showcases of a person's unit, or a battle report, or an awesome live stream with my favorite guys. And I definitely want to watch more of that. I Friday nights, I try and watch as much as I can of things like Frost and Fists live stream. I try and watch some of G's live streams with his stuff. Unfortunately, just due to where I live in the world, with time zones and or days, sometimes it's impossible for me to do it. I'm just too tired. Or I definitely want to watch more of those, because that's the content that makes me happy. It's a content that that's an example, right? Like, there's a bunch of them. I love watching Nick Ittig Beer 40K stuff, Scared Cast. God, there's so many of them, right? Gamers with Coffee, love watching their stuff too, because that's a positive stuff. Because it's people just enjoying the hobby, trying their very best to share their enthusiasm and love of the hobby. And there's some that I've had to stop watching, because I find that they're and that's not to be mean. I don't encourage anybody to just stop. But I'm not going to name names on those, because I don't want people to just go, oh, well, or start viewing them as negative. To me, they're negative. You might see a different viewpoint on it, but there's some I've watched because it was too much. It was starting veering towards what's wrong with everything. This is wrong, and that's wrong, and this is bad, and that's bad. And I think there's not enough stop and going, should I? It's great to talk about it, and everybody, I think, has the right to say what they want. I'm definitely a free speech person. I think that if you have a viewpoint, you should be willing to share it. You should be able to share it. But doesn't mean you always should share it. Sometimes I think discretion is a better part of valid. Or going, I have this viewpoint. I really want to say it. I know it'll get some views. I know it'll get clicks, but will it actually contribute anything to the overall good of the community, or will it just be good for me and end up ticking people off, or getting people out of it, or people going, oh, this is too negative, I'm out. Because this community thrives and survives as it grows, and in a positive way, positive light. But that's just my soapbox rant for the day. Always got to get one of those out, right? And I hope you guys kind of feel the same way. I think the positive community is always better than one built on negativity. Oy. All right, you guys, you gotta stop me. I'm looking at Kroot right now, and I should probably stop. Again, that's one of the things that I said before. It's I definitely, man, I could paint these guys up real quick, and they could look pretty nasty and awesome. But I definitely want to make sure that they're still around, especially since that is a Kroot. There is that Kroot silhouette. Could we be seeing all the old Kroot out because they are old models? They're what, late third editions. They've been around for a very long time. There's always a right and wrong way to express your opinion. I always feel that there's no need to crap on something someone else likes. Just express that. Exactly. That's true. That's good. I respect what you say. Thanks, man. There's people who just want to talk poop. Yeah. People love to do that. It's definitely one of my buttons. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things I agree with you on that, Mythos. There's and I've seen people do that. They just crap on stuff because it makes them feel good about themselves, and that's not cool. It's one of my buttons too, and it's why. And people that there's one channel that I watched a lot, but eventually just the videos became too much. It was too much of this, too much of that. I said, man, I can't watch anymore. It's just not fun. And I know that people have probably unsubscribed from me for the same reason. They just went, I don't like the way his videos are going. That's cool. That's cool. There's sometimes people will hop onto your channel because you did this one video and they really liked it, and they realize you may not do another one, or you may not do the same way you did that one, and they leave, and that's okay. That's fine. I never did this with the intent of making any money off of it. I knew that was a long shot, a really long shot. But I just want to do it for fun. Now, that being said, I may be reaching out to a few of you because I know you guys have got Patreon stuff and some other stuff that I may think about trying to do myself, some merch or something. I have no idea how to do that stuff. But I may reach out to a few of you and ask you what you guys did and maybe get a bit of a helping hand there. But I definitely want to. And part of that isn't just like, I got to make money, right? No, it's a legacy thing. I definitely, when this is all said and done, one day when either the world stops turning, or I decide I've had enough, or YouTube itself disappears, I want to be able to look back, go, said I did something meaningful and I left an impact on people, even just the smallest way. And I know for a fact I have done that with certain people. I know I've had people say I've inspired them, or I helped them out, or I made them laugh, and that's cool. That's definitely cool. But I definitely want something that has a little bit lasting, so that when this all eventually does stop at some point. I'm not saying that it is. I'm definitely not in the same mindset of I'm going to quit tomorrow or I'm going to shut all down. But at some point, when that happens, it could be many years from now. In fact, I know it'll be many years from now, if it ever. I want to know that I had an impact. People go, hey man, that who took my dice was awesome. He did something. It made me feel good. It made me laugh. It inspired me. That's what I want in the end. I want to leave a lasting legacy that where people go, man, that was fun. I'm glad he did that. I'm thankful that he did that, because I've done that with a number of the channels. I've been inspired by all of you here in one way or another to do something. I've laughed. I've been like, oh man, don't do it that way. I know there's been times of watching videos going, why would you do that? Other times going, that was awesome. That was awesome. Keep doing it, man. And I leave comments whenever I can. Sometimes I don't have time. Sometimes I can guarantee you this coming, not this week, but the week after, when I'm back to work, I'm going to be having several days where my job is going to be just sort of sitting and waiting for things to happen. And I will have a whole bunch of your videos lined up to listen to and hopefully watch, but definitely listen to as I'm waiting. So I may get caught up on some of the channels that I've fallen behind on. I apologize for that. You're awesome. Well, thank you. I'm. That's one of the things I'm trying to feel better about myself too. That's 2024 is definitely going to be one of those um, um, years where I'm going to be trying to be more positive with myself. Yeah. So some of you might be hearing from me on things because I definitely want to I definitely want to keep improving the channel. Like I said earlier, much earlier, 2023 was probably one of my best years ever, if not the best year I've ever had on this channel. So obviously something's working. Uh, but I definitely want to work on that, grow on that, reach more people, have more fun, share more laughs, start, collaborating with you guys more, you people. He's not sweet guys anymore, but with all of you beautiful peoples out there, because I think that's the only way to really make this hobby even more fun and grow even more is by just reaching out and having fun with people. And I definitely need to do more of that as well. You say, whoa, it's getting late here. All right, guys, you gotta stop me. I'm looking at the crude again. I gotta stop this, but it's definitely something I want to. Lots of different stuff to work on. I hope you guys. I'm gonna end the stream. Sounds fun. I've had the same idea I want to hear. You're both awesome. No, sir. You're both awesome. But I think I am going to sign off there. It is almost midnight. I need some sleep because I'm going to try and stay up as late as possible tomorrow to ring in the new year with my family. And hopefully, I'm hoping, and I'm going to say this right now because I don't know if I'll talk to you guys before that, but I hope each and every one of you, whether you're listening to me now or not, have a fantastic and amazing new year. I hope it is honestly your best year yet. Whatever trials you go through, whatever issues, I hope that you can surmount them with very little pain. I hope you get to smile more. I hope you get to laugh more. I hope you get to I hope you get as much enjoyment of the year as you can, whether it's a hobby or just with family or anything else you do. I just hope everyone has a fantastic 2024. I know, to get a bit more real, I know that right now things are pretty dark, pretty down for a lot of people. People are having trouble, just paying their bills, finding housing, dealing with all the expenses going up. There's a lot of strife and pain in the world. I really hope that for everybody gets better, that you get the success and the prosperity that you're looking for, you need. I just hope everyone has a really great 2024, and I hope it starts off really well for everybody. Much love to everybody. I love you guys too. You guys are awesome. Everybody, to like everyone who's subscribed, who's liked, disliked, commented, just watched, what have you. I hope everything's just awesome for you. I hope it's a great year for everybody. I hope you get all the models you want painted. I hope you have victories in all your games. For you orc players out there, I hope you wog like you've never walked before. I hope that you get to drink from the skulls of your enemies. But much love to you guys. Keep rolling those dice, and I will see you guys in the new year. I'll talk to you guys. Bye.